They didn't get, this is politics as well, they didn't get another Speaker of the House again yesterday.
Man, I watched that for a while yesterday.
What was it, 6 votes now?
Yeah, it's just wild. And it's kind of fun to watch because everyone gets up and gives their 2 cents on who, why or who they're nominating, and then they have to go around and yell everybody's name, and they yell who they want.
Yeah.
And they keep tally, and it's just, forget it.
So if you don't really follow politics, the Republicans now have the House of Representatives, and this guy, Kevin McCarthy from California, seemed to be the person who's going to win it. But they only have a 4-seat majority, which means he can only lose 3 or 4 votes. And he's lost now 19 or 20 on every vote. And so they're not voting him in. It's because I think the 19 or 20 voting against him, who are Republicans, are Donald Trump supporters, and they don't think he supported Trump enough, even though now Trump has given his support.
Yeah, it's all over the board.
It's everywhere.
It's hard to make sense of it all.
Well, but see, I think they're saying now even the people that were kind of that pro-Trump side that are not wanting McCarthy are just not even listening to Trump.
Yeah, right, because Trump said vote
he weighed
for him.
in yesterday.
Yeah, and
And
they
also,
were like, no, too late, we're not doing it.
Trump only did this for McCarthy because they said Trump can then claim, see, I still have control of this party. I tell them what to do.
But they didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
So what happens if you keep going on and on? Because it doesn't appear anybody's going to change. Now McCarthy has to meet with all of them and say, well, I'll make this concession and that concession.
Well,
he's being weakened. His position is being weakened all the time.
All day yesterday I kept hearing, there's deals being made now, and I'm sure you got to help me get my bill passed so I look good.
It may come down to, and I hate to say it, the Biggie system. You get me a coffee every day.
I think we're there.
Iced.
I told you what I would do.
You pick up my dry cleaning.
If I was Kevin McCarthy, I'd say, y'all can kiss my butt.
I don't want that gavel.
I do. I'm not.
It's not just Republicans.
Shove it. I don't want it.
It's not just Republicans either. They have to get the Democrats as well. So the Democrats have to stand up each time. They already know who they're nominating. They got their guy.
Right, of course.
And so they have to all vote as well. I mean, it's a hell of a process.
Yeah.
And the guy they think now, they're like, what about Steve Scalise? But he supports McCarthy.
Yes, and so does Jim Jordan.
Yeah. So, and it's like...
Well, and interesting, and then McCarthy has to answer questions, and he's like, isn't this great? It's democracy. It's messy. It's wonderful, and we're going to get the done. It's just a process. When really what he's thinking is, I can't believe you 19 losers.
6 votes. 6 GD votes.
How dare you?
You've been here for 2 years.
I've been here for a lifetime trying to get this thing done. I would stand up there and say, you know what? You can kiss my butt. I don't want it. You can find somebody else to be your speaker and see how that goes. And then when it's time to vote on stuff, when they need him, be like, sorry. Okay.
Now you need me?
Oh, you want me to vote on something? I'm not going to vote on anything. This guy, it's got to be a blow to your ego.
It has to be.
I mean, it's just got to be. Because it's being played out in front of the whole country, of course, the whole world. And you're just like,
I would imagine that by and large, many Americans are simply just, it's just background.
Of course. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But it is the lead story on the news. And you're right. I think most people are just like, oh, look at every time I see it, it's just like the people running the country are,
I would imagine
childish.
if you stop the average person at a grocery store or at a gas station, they just say, it's politics as usual.
That's exactly what.
Which I don't know that that's quite accurate, but I think many people have that perception.
It's become politics, don't you think?
Well, and that's what a few of the speeches have said is, look, this is exactly what people complain about. We're wasting our time with this when we should be helping with bigger things.
Of course.
This is why people don't trust us and why people get mad at us.
And for me, as the leader of the teenage Republicans in 1988, when I boldly stated...
The easiest time ever, by the way, to be a Republican.
The 80s,
I think history will show.
Oh, the 80s.
Oh, man.
To be a Republican in the 80s.
To be a young white dude.
Yeah.
God. I was born at the right time. Yeah, I tell you that. Glory years.
Glory days.
Oh, my God.
And trust me, believe me, people your age were bringing Reagan in left and right yesterday.
Were they?
Let's not forget what Ronald Reagan said.
Unfortunately, the Gipper's been gone for a while now. But I was all Reagan and Bush and just, everything was awesome. And I said, I will always passionately defend these people who are trying to help the country. Here is a young Republican. And now look at me all these years later, and I just look up at Capitol Hill and go, what's a mess? I just turn my back on it. I just turn my back.
Yeah.
You
they
know,
call you a rhino and then just laugh at you.
and then I just turn around and go, whatever y'all do, just do it. Like everybody else, like you're talking about people at the grocery store just saying, well, what am I? I'm not paying attention to this. I got my own trouble.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
not
not
trying
about the price of rice.
Right.
Price of breakfast cereal.
That's what I mean.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
What do you hear?
I think we could elect her.
Is she old enough to be Speaker of the House? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a constitutional scholar. That's our buddy Weather Dave. But I don't think technically, by rule, you must be in the Congress to be Speaker of the House.
Oh, you don't have to?
No, because plenty of people have nominated Donald Trump.
Oh, have they?
They want DJT
to be Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Now, that would be interesting if he was Speaker of the House. Polly Girl Cassie is talking about the Speaker of the House and the mess it has become. Go ahead, Cassie.
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Great, morning.
So I was telling Biggie, the last time something like this happened was in 1923, and they took 9 votes. Prior to that, I believe the year was 1853. Congress was shut down practically for 2 months, and it took 133 votes.
Goodness gracious!
Now, is it 3 per day? It seems to be 3 votes per day that we've seen.
I don't think there's a limit on how many they can do, because last night they stood down for 4 hours to reconvene at 8:00, and they decided at that time they were going to take a vote on whether to vote again or adjourn for the day, and they eventually got enough votes to adjourn for the day. So a lot of them were saying, a lot of the Republicans were saying they wanted to vote through the night, but
Yeah. So
we do have enough votes to go. Oh, Charlie's. Wait. Oh, God, somebody wants to go to Bennigan's. The chair recognizes the great state of Missouri. I say we go to Bennigan's. Oh, Charlie's has had enough of our business.
We can't even agree on that.
They have to vote to stop voting? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what we're doing here. But if we stop down for 2 months, that's not, you can't do that in this day and age. In 1853, I'm sure it was a huge issue. But now, you can't do that. But I don't know what's changing.
Polygirl Cassie seems to be watching more closely than most.
You are. You're following this. I didn't know you were so into politics, Polygirl Cassie.
So I'm not that into politics, but this is just like a once in a lifetime thing. I work. I've just got it on in the background when I work. I was working on a roof when the insurrection happened on January 6th, and I just turned it up, and followed it, the entire time. Stuff like this, it's a once in a lifetime thing. A lot of people are going to be like, whatever, but this is essentially the Republican Party somewhat imploding on themselves.
Oh, yeah, they are. That's my proud party.
And the Democrats in the chamber love it. They might as well be air humping every time they get up to speak.
Oh, yeah. Popcorn sales have skyrocketed.
Polygirl Cass, do you know what I did on January 6th 2 years ago? And I'm so ashamed of this. I've admitted this a few times. Do you know my story?
You had to have been cheering.
No, I was not.
No.
That hurts.
No, he's not that brazen.
No. I'll tell you what happened. It was the middle of the afternoon. I knew they were going to be voting. I didn't really know that I didn't think. I always think the best. I never think it's really going to go bad. So I just went home and watched Friends like I always do. And then Biggie texted out of the blue to Dave, Chris, Demm, and myself. And Biggie said, "The whole world is exploding. What is happening?" And then Chris Demm sent back one of these GIFs and he said, "This is Donald Trump." And there was a guy spraying gasoline on an enormous fire. And so I was like, I wonder what's going on. And then Biggie goes, "The world is coming to an end. It's over.
Are you seeing that?"
And so I flipped over, to CBS, and I saw just
people like ants on the building.
For 30 seconds. And I said, I'm not dealing with this. And I flipped right back to Friends. And I said, I just cannot
You're
watch
the guy who
this.
walked out of the Smithsonian and saw what happened and was like, I'll just Uber home.
Yes.
I was just here for the Air and Space Museum.
Yes. And now ever since, when everything happens and they do all these trials, and I'm just like, I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm just not participating.
I love it. I think it's fun to watch.
I'm not participating in it because from that 17-year-old boy in 1988 who was head of the Teenage Republicans to come all the way to this and to see what's happened to the party and the country and the Capitol. I hate it. I hate it. All right, Poly Girl Cassie, keep us informed on this if you would. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Love y'all.
Good to talk to you.
Happy
There she
New Year.
goes.
I wonder how many people they're eventually going to have to loop around to the same people speaking and nominating.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I'm waiting for the one guy to get up and be like, "It's me again." Look, you know I'm nominating. You know what I said before. Yeah,
ditto.
What are we doing?
Let me say it again. Well, I think what probably will happen is McCarthy will go behind closed doors and say, "Okay, I'll do this, this, and this," but he's going to be stripped of his power, and he's already done that a number of times. You know, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but it is. I think Chris Demm's exactly right. It's the lead story on the news, but most Americans just go, it's background and it's politics. So what do I care? I know when we talk politics on this program, overwhelming thumbs up.
Skyrocket ratings.
Keep doing it.